Hey guys, today we're checking out something really cool, the new amp update for the Amp Box plugin by Mercuriall. And it's the 1987X, which is based on a modded Marshall, Jose modded Marshall to be precise. And that's just really awesome. So let's start by taking a listen to how this amp module sounds in the plugin and then take a closer look. Check it out. Great, that sounded really nice. So that was my ESP LTD Phoenix Black Metal into the plugin, into the amplifier with a tube screamer block added up front as well. So it does those classic sort of 80s metal tones really well, but it's actually very versatile as well. It can basically do all the classic Marshall plexi tones, but then do way more because of the extra gain stage and the extra gain control. And it has been modded by Jose, so it has the extra juice and mojo. I love my Marshalls, I love my Mini Plexi, and I love my JCM 800. They're great, but they don't have a lot of gain on tap. So usually when you want to go to higher gain territory, you're going to need to add a boost up front, okay? Now you can do this, as I did in the demo, with this module as well, but you won't need to because of the extra gain. So it's not only a modded amplifier by Jose, but it also has some tweaks done by Sergey Golovin. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but he did some mods on this amp as well, which they modeled. So yeah, it's pretty cool and pretty versatile, and I'll show you more in a second. Now, in case you've never heard of the Amp Box plugin by Mercuriall, it's a really cool concept. It's basically a sort of platform in which you can load a bunch of different amplifiers, so you have to buy the amps separately, basically. And the amps that they have released so far are the Bogner Ecstasy, the U530 Angle preamp, the Reactive, which is a Mesa Boogie Triaxis, the Rectifier, which is a rectifier, of course, and the previous module was the 6163, which is based on an EVH Stealth, and I really enjoyed that one. And I must say that this new model sounds so good, this might be their best, so they are getting better at this. And by the way, they also added a new modulation effect, which is a nice touch as well. Now, you don't only have the amplifiers in this suite, you also get a bunch of effects, like a gate, a dynamic section with compressors and stuff, an EQ, a wah, overdrive, distortion, parametric EQ, modulation, delay, and reverb. And in the cabinet block, you can choose a bunch of different cabinets, move the mics around, but it also comes preloaded with a bunch of IRs, or you can load your own IRs, which is what I did for the intro track. I used an ML SoundLab IR there. I used the Mega Traditional cabinets to be precise, and it sounded great together with this plugin. But we'll also try the stock cabinet in a second. Now, this plugin does some other cool, unique things. You can bypass the preamp or the power amp, for example, which is kind of cool. You can load convolution reverbs. So you can basically go crazy here and tweak all the tones, but the interface remains simple. It remains easy to use, and I think that it looks great as well. Anyway, so back to the amplifier. You've got all your typical plexi controls, a master volume, presence, bass, mid, treble, and then gain for the treble and the normal channels. And then you've also got the inputs that you can choose. But there's also a jump option for jumpering the channels. And then, of course, the additional gain control, which is the mod. Anyway, I want to try some more classic crunch tones right now, see if this amplifier can nail that, with my ESP Ltd EC1000T in charcoal burst with the Fishman Fluence classic open core pickups in it on the bridge pickup. And I'm not going to boost it this time, so it's going to be purely just the amplifier that you're going to hear. And I'm going to use the stock cabinet this time, basically the one that comes preloaded when you open up the plugin. Okay, let's take a listen. Nice, that sounded really good. That's one of the best sort of vintage Marshall tones in a plugin that I've ever heard. I'm really impressed. Like the kerrang and the clarity and the strings and the saturation, it just sounds very, very Marshall-y. So I'm really impressed, really cool. But yeah, I also really like the fact that you can add more gain and really change the gain structure of the entire amplifier. Make it very thick and fat, or more tight and clangy, or anything in between basically. So what I'd like to do now is loop some riffs that I recorded with my Gibson Les Paul Standard 60s with the Duncan JB in the bridge, and just tweak the controls a little bit, try the different inputs and see how all the tone controls affect the tone and see how much gain there is on tap really. And for this bit I'm also using an ML SoundLab IR. This time I'm using a Marshall IR with the M75 speaker in it. Okay, let's have some fun. Check it out. Righteous, that was awesome. So yeah, this amp has a lot of sort of character on tap. Again, it does the Marshall plexi tone, but it does so much more because of the mods and the additional gain that's on tap. So I really like this plugin a lot. I think it's a winner, and I definitely think you should check it out if you're looking for either standard or classic Marshall tones or something that does more. Or if you're simply intrigued by the famous and well-known Jose mod. Because that's what attracted me to this plugin, because I was just very curious to try that out. I'd never really tried one of those amplifiers, or even an amp model, I guess, that was based on one of these amplifiers. And I'm very pleasantly surprised. And just as with a real plexi, you can blend between the treble channel and the normal channel to find the amount of brightness or thickness that you want. So that's really cool. And being able to jumper the channels also is quite useful. So yeah, not a super long video, but this product is simple, it's elegant, but it's great. And it's inside of the amp box platform, so there's plenty of stuff in there for you to tweak your guitar tone, various distortions and all the other effects. So yeah, man, I really like this and I recommend checking it out. That's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and that you found it useful. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like and subscribe buttons down below, as that really helps the channel out. I'd really appreciate it. You can also follow me on my Ko-Fi web store where I sell captures and stuff, or on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Cheers.